Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Forex trading channel. This is Jordan Rosario, and today I want to go ahead and I want to take you on my steps in my Forex trading journey and, in a way, also educate you on the market day by day and give a little insight as to how this $6 trillion a day industry is going to work. I'm going to give you a little bit of my story here. I've been trading for about a year and a half, going back to the November of 2020, and I've had some really, really fun times in the market so far. I've seen the ups, I've seen the downs, I've been with a few companies that I respect, and now I'm partnering with another company called the 8 Minute Trading Academy, sponsored by Longevity. And I figured that, today was the time, if you will, that I wanted to go ahead and really consider becoming a coach to everybody. And the reason why is because throughout this journey, I've seen, how we could be successful in the markets. I've seen also the downsides, if you will, of trading and how it can affect everybody. And I want to be that, and I desire to be that person that really helps everybody get them on the way that they need to go in order to be successful. So what I want to go ahead and show first is me just taking a couple of trades that you saw that there were a few trades that I just went ahead and I clicked on this sell button right here. And the purpose of me clicking on the sell button right here is to essentially, the goal is to make money on these trades, of course, and also make sure that I am doing what's called preserving my capital, as it's very important out in the markets because, with trading, you always want to go ahead and make sure that, no matter if you're winning these trades, no matter if you're losing these trades, the idea is that you still have your working capital to work on, whether that's within the days, the weeks, the months to come. I mean, with trading, the journey always is a long one, right? It's not necessarily a very quick journey, but with each journey, it all begins with a single step. And doing these trades right here that I just showed with executing a sell, that is the first step on this particular journey. Now, I want to go ahead and explain a little bit about first the software that I'm using. It's called what I like to call the scalper software. And before we jump off the rails, as far as what a scalper does, or the purpose of a scalper, is to go ahead and work on what we call the price movement in the market. Very small price movements in the market. And all we're doing is we're wanting to execute for, in this case, a sell. We're looking to take a trade at a specific price point, and the goal is for the price of gold to go down, to go down in price. As with taking a sell trade, the goal is to make money when the sell button, I'm sorry, not the sell button, but when the market goes down. Now, if I went ahead and I executed a buy trade, then the purpose or the goal at that point would be to go ahead and make money with price going up. So in this situation right here, I'm losing I'm losing about $1 right here, but hey, that's fine. I'm not we're not overly worried about this trade right now. Now, there are ways to go ahead and, well, we saw that we can easily enter these trades, but as we move forward throughout the course of these trades right here, there is a proper way to also close them so we don't lose our skin, so to speak. So let's go ahead and allow these trades to play out. Now, you may have noticed that these arrows right here, we had the arrow. Go ahead and get my tool right here. We had one arrow going right here, then the arrow coming to right here, and now the arrow is right at this mark right here. Now, the purpose of that is to show first that technically we are in what's considered a downtrend in the market, and all that really means is that price is going down. So the long short-term trajectory, depending on, and we'll get the time frames here at some point, but the goal or the basic purpose of a downtrend is to show us that prices are going down in the long term as opposed to going up. And what that means as us for a trader is that because the market is going down, we are more than likely to look for sell trades as opposed to buy trades. Because again, before, we want to go ahead and if we have a intuition that price is going down, then we ultimately want to go ahead and make sure that we're choosing the right move to make sure we're making profit on our trades. Now, as far as me taking these trades, I do primarily use the arrows to go ahead and place those trades. And what I'm also doing in a sense is there is another function to making these particular trades, and that's called cost averaging. Now, cost averaging, all that means is that so these first couple of trades aren't necessarily going our way right now. There is a little bit of a negative balance on the chart itself. And so the purpose of the cost average trades is to take a position that is after our first trade experiences what we call a loss of money or drawdown. And the objective is if the other trades, so the other trades that are placed, if these trades are able to get to, or at least the first trade is able to get to break even, then the second, the third, or fourth trade in this scenario would be able to make profit for us. Now, as far as that working in our favor, that's going to need to be something that the trade is going to need to play out, and we'll need to see. We are looking for a win, of course. In forex trading, you are definitely looking for wins rather than losses. However, the one thing that needs to be clear, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, is that there are going to be winners in these situations, and there are going to be losers in the situations, and we do need to prepare for when that takes place. So right now, because we're in these sell trades, of course, we're really looking for the market to go down, and it looks like we're starting to get our way there. We can see that we have a little bit of profit now coming to the table, and ultimately, what's going to happen is that this arrow right here, if price keeps going down. And I'm an eternal optimist. So, I'd almost venture to say when price goes down, that arrow is going to go ahead and then turn into a sell marker, which is when that's a confirmation that we are indeed going in the right direction. Now, my strategy is to trade the arrows right here. So when I see the arrow, I go ahead and I trade that. And when the arrow then turns into a sell text, because this arrow is going to point downwards, this would turn into a giant sell that we'll see in a few minutes. What that means to us is that our trades that we have picked up on the arrow would get into enough profit where the arrow becomes a sell. And vice versa. If, let's say we were looking for buy trades and we took those buy trades and, that arrow instead turns into a buy text, that means that we are going to be making money and winning on the buy trades, which is absolutely perfect. Now, as far as some situations, we are going to see here, as we go through this trading journey, there's always going to be things that we're going to cover, but there are a few other things that we're going to pay attention to as we move forward. And I'm really looking forward to when we're going to be able to talk a little bit more about what's going on in the market. All right, everybody. So I want to go ahead and I wanted to show everybody, just that fact. A few things happened on these particular trades. So first, I wanted to go ahead and close my trades with profit because as you can see, I made about a 4% gain on this account. And again, I do want to first and foremost, when trading the Forex market, I do recommend doing a demo account first. As far as doing this on a real account, I want to show everybody that this is indeed possible, that this journey is possible, and that there is a absolutely tremendous opportunity out in the market. And B, again, I want to show the realness of this opportunity. Now, with that being said, I know that I had to practice my strategies and go through pains and gains, if you will. And that was done through demo accounts, that was done through live accounts. And I know truthfully that I have indeed lost money in these markets. And going through that emotional pain would would definitely not be great for someone who's just getting started. And we certainly don't want anyone to lose their confidence and lose their belief. And so whenever that comes about, my objective is I would rather you go through those emotions on a demo account so that, real money is not being used. Your emotions are not as volatile, knowing that you have experience first with a demo account. And so that's one thing I would want everyone to understand is that you do want to practice this first. And again, give yourself some time. It could be a day and you're comfortable trading in the real account. Absolutely perfect. A week, absolutely perfect. A month, absolutely perfect. Personally, in my experience, I have had to trade demo accounts within these 2 years for about a month, 2 months, 3 months at times. Now, with that being said, just because I went demo, let's say on my first go, in fact, I'll tell you this: when I first started trading, they say practice what you preach, and so if I do have to be honest, I did do a live account the first time around, and I easily lost that money, not knowing what I was doing. Now, granted, I was, when I first started, I was part of my first Forex Trading Academy. And while that experience did teach me a few things, I also understand that I was so green to trading in a way that I most definitely did not need to start trading with the live account. I know full well that doing a demo account would have saved me a lot of grief. And so I offer that same advice as to protect yourselves. However, if you do feel the need to do a live account at once, then my proper suggestion would be to start with a very small balance, like this $100 account right here. I started trading with just $100. That was my first account that I created. with the same broker, by the way, Hugo's Way. It's been around for, since I started trading. And I wanted to do, at that point, $100 was it for me, because I knew that if I were to risk something, $100 wasn't a big deal to me at the time. And, with $100, I feel that is a very fair risk for beginners to start trading their account. And again, if I know that this market's going to be around for a long time, and with that being said, I also know that we just did about 4% on this account with these trades right here. So I know if I am consistent with it, then I can get this account to grow within a considerable amount of time. Now, the other thing that I want to pay attention to is we saw that this particular guy right here, that changed from a down arrow to the sell text. And so it happened because of, this right here was based, and we'll talk about this in a separate video, of course. So this is all based on price action. So as we remember, we started taking a trade when we had this candle first go to this position. Then it came to this position after drawdown. And then we had some more drawdown coming from this candle right here. And within all this drawdown, we had this gigantic candle going, that's my sound effect right there for going down, just what is that? What that's an effective sound effect. I guess I'll have to listen to the recording. But anyway, the idea is the fact that this came all the way down. It not only brought this trade back into break even and even to a little profit, but because of these two other trades right here where I cost averaged and I took trades at those spots, I was able to make even more money on those trades, thus bringing the total account gain to about 4%. And so I closed those trades. I got my profit out there, and it does appear that price is moving back in the other direction. And so now we're just waiting for our opportunity. We don't want to necessarily go gung ho. I've been there before, where I've went ahead and I just went gung ho and I looked for trades here, there, and everywhere. And now I know that doesn't really need to be the case. We don't need to overtrade. We do not need to overexhaust ourselves. And when that next trade comes, we will go ahead and we will execute it. But I know that right now we can go ahead and allow time to pass before our next opportunity does arrive. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is setting a schedule. Setting a schedule is very important for a trader. I go back to the over trading periods of my life, and there's a story to tell about that. So let's talk about trading hours. Now, there are many, many different times of the day where you can trade. With this particular market, the Forex market, it's open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now, I'm going to go ahead and equate this to Eastern time for everybody, and I'll go ahead and write down the hours. Excuse me. I'll write down the times of the day right here, the hours of the day, if you will. So the market is always going to be open from Friday at 5 p.m. I'm sorry, Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so on Sunday afternoon, or Sunday evening, I should say, depending on when you're waking up, the market will be open for you to take a trade. And you can do that all the way until about Friday when the market is closed. Now, if we do 24 times 5, and that's about 120 hours a day, or I'm sorry, a week, we don't need to be trading 120 hours a week. That's one thing where I got myself caught up because I would be spending all day and then I'd be spending all night just trading, and A, that left me exhausted, and B, the purpose of the Forex market is to generate financial freedom. And part of that freedom is the fact that we need to understand that we do not need to be trading in these markets for a very long period of time. Otherwise, we're not free at that point. We're being controlled by, oh, the market's open, let me go ahead and take a trade, when we don't necessarily need to be doing that. And that's a lesson I had to learn throughout my trading, because I would be that person again that would be staying up all night and trading all morning and getting to the point of exhaustion where trading wasn't that fun for me at stages. And so now I know, okay, I have a concrete window of when I'm trading, and that concrete window for me would be at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is because we are about 2 hours away before the stock market is open. And we'll address that particular topic another time. But the idea is that particular hour of opportunity allows you to get into trades that have a high volume of trading. And with the higher volume of trading, that means prices move a lot more. So let me go ahead and write that down. With higher volumes of trading, prices tend to move more. So in the grand scheme of things, what that means to us as traders, as we're going through the day, is the fact that we're not wanting to essentially watch grass grow. We're not essentially wanting to watch paint dry. We're not essentially wanting to see a tree grow, right? Because we know that takes a very long time, little movement, and after a while, it gets plain boring. And so to bring that analogy into full transparency, as for lack of a better word, these particular times of the day allow us to go ahead and look at the markets for 5 hours, watch price go up and down in the fastest way that it can. And then after that 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time mark, we close down the computer, we shut everything down, and then we're done for the day. And that allows us then and I'm personally go to bed at around 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because of my schedule and just things I want to do and just, enjoying my time. So from that point onward, I've given myself 12 hours after that 5-hour trading period to go do what I want. Do I want to walk my dog, or do I want to go ahead and go get something to drink, go to get something? I don't know what the schedule would look like for me, but with those 12 hours I have is an opportunity to go ahead and do something about it, whatever the case may be. So I bring up that story because it is important to understand that you really need about, in my opinion, about 5 hours of trading time, 5 hours to take a look at the charts. And again, frankly, because I'm looking at the 5-hour minutes, right? So we'll get into time frame here in just a second, but understanding for me personally how these candles move. And luckily I have this tool right here that allows me to tell the time of before this candle is about to expire. If I need to go ahead and I need to, refill my cup of coffee, or Even if I was doing this not on the camera, let's say, but I could listen to music, songs, or whatnot. So this gives me a level of flexibility to go ahead and do that, especially with trading gold, which is the pair XAU USD, by the way. That is a gold compared to the United States dollar. So again, this reminds me of fishing in a way where, we're throwing out our line and it might take a while for us to catch a fish, but once we catch that fish, it gives you a sense of accomplishment. It gives you like, whoa, I just caught that fish, or whoa, I just caught that trade. Like, that's absolutely incredible. And it should be an incredible feeling. Your first trade that you win, that it gives you the mindset, the perspective of, whoa, if I could win that trade, then all I have to do is win that again. And all I have to do is preserve my capital. Then, the possibilities are endless. And again, we're going to go through this one day at a time because it's very important that we realize something. And this is a very important mantra that my mentor, my coach gave me, and it stuck for me for a period of time. And I figured I'd go ahead and I'd share with you as we're waiting for a trade to take place right here. Now, this mantra, this is something that I have written down for a period, and I'm actually going to go ahead and now count my pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And I'm going to write it down for the 25th time later today. And that mantra is, stop for a moment. I'm doing a great job. Be patient with myself. I am at the right place at the right time. Remember, big things are not achieved all at once, but one day at a time. Focus on my priorities. I am a big boss, and I make big boss moves. Now, this mantra, how come it's so important? Because what this does for you is to, label it in your mind if you are. We all know that we are capable of doing very great things. We know that we are very capable of building our own empires. And, going back to I didn't mean to make this a history lesson, but now here we are. Going back to the Roman Empire, that empire was great, massive, big. Like, we all know the stories about the Roman Empire. Yet that expression, Rome was built in a day, does hold true. I mean, there had to be pieces, there had to be foundation, layers, bricks, there had to be things that made it possible for this empire to build, but it had to be done gradually. It didn't happen just like that and with a snap of a finger. No, it took time and it took development. And this is what we're doing with the Forex market here. Just sticking to my niche as a Forex trading coach. I know that growing an account as massive and big as it's going to get, and I do take my affirmations very seriously on this, that I do intend to be a 10, 11, 12 counting figure earner in this business. I understand that is going to take time. I do not need to rush the process. I need to take it one day at a time. And I do need to be patient with myself, because there are going to be times where I'm like, ooh, I want to go ahead and just jump into this thing. And I got to make sure I realize I need to slow it down. I need to slow it down and allow the process to come when the process comes. And that right there is a lesson, not only in Forex trading, but in whatever it is that you want to do, in whatever relationships that you want to create, in whatever whatever passion that you want to strive for, you have to understand that this is a once in a day thing, and there are going to be great days, there are going to be bad days, and we're going to record it all, and it's going to happen, and we're going to take it for what it is. But we do need to understand that this is just one day at a time. We can breathe. We don't have to worry about what's going to happen next week or next month or next year, because worrying just does not help this process. And for Forex trading, we need to have a very, very, very clear mind of what we're doing in order to make sure that we're executing and capitalizing on the right moves. So going back to the piecing this all together, I should say, you want to go ahead and you want to create your own trading schedule for every day of the week. And so that trading schedule for me is I go from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 hours in a day, Monday through Friday, and that's my trading for the week.